Hi, my name is Shaye. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're interested in a detailed explanation of what I'm doing here, I have a playlist. There are other videos that you can refer to, but I'm just here to talk. I'm here to use this channel as a means of creativity. Today, it's going to be a little bit different. I had mentioned a few videos ago that I get bored, and we have done, I think it's 11 videos now, most of which in the latter part were in a similar format where I started talking about themes or lessons in my life, and I give you three examples, and we're pretty, I think, pretty clear in my opinion. But today I just want to talk. I just want to talk. So if this isn't your vibe, it's fine. There are other videos. If none of those are your vibe, that's fine. YouTube is very big. It's huge. This is like a speck in the world that is YouTube. So if this ain't your vibe, move on to something else. But for today, what has been coming up for me is a open discussion about what my people like to call, and when I say my people, I'm Nigerian. I'm from West Africa. We have a saying where we like to call certain, I would say, people and things enemies of progress. And what that literally means is, anyone who gets in the way of your progress or anything you're trying to progress with. And for me, I say people or things because it could literally be as minuscule as today trying to record and my camera deciding that it wants to perform. It doesn't want to do what I want it to do. So it becomes an enemy of progress. And we say it in jest, but in all honesty, sometimes naming things helps you kind of contextualize it and minimize the impact of it. But for me specifically, I would say in this past week, it's been a week of self-doubt. It's been a week of questioning. But oddly enough, it's also been a week of unexpected confirmations from places that I would have never guessed, right? Um, I said in earlier videos, I'm in the midst of transition. YouTube was one of many places that things are shifting in my life. I've also realized this transition wasn't like an overnight thing. It's something that a seed was planted years ago when I had quite a serious medical scare, and I started a journey of just shifting things in my life. And once you start doing that, you start to unearth things about yourself, and you start to become a bit curious about how you ended up where you were. Because I've said in past videos, I'm 42, I'm not 24. So this isn't something that my life was pretty cemented, pretty clear, in terms of what I do, what I don't do, what I'm good at, what people expect me to do. All that was on the table. But was it the life I wanted? Was the ultimate question I was trying to answer. So this past month has been a lot of unearthing things and changing things. And when you do that, if you've ever had change at that level, you quickly start to realize it does something to people, not just you. It does something to the people around you, something to the people you encounter. Oftentimes, when you choose to, let's say, step away from what is expected, when you choose to move a little differently, you will be met with challenges. You will be met with people's expectation of you um, being very, very jarring. Sometimes people you didn't even know had expectations of you. That's a whole other conversation. And then people will imprint or try attempt to imprint their thought, their assessment, their unsolicited advice, and then that plants the seed of doubt. Especially when, like I said, these aren't strangers. These are like random people on the road who are like, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's not. That's not. That's not usually what causes the doubt to show up. What typically causes the doubt to show up is your close circle. or people, maybe people you've confided in, people that you looked at, people you could trust. Um, but again, I don't think we go through life, most of us, unless you're just one of those, you know? I don't think we go through life intending to cause hurt. But oftentimes, if we're not aware of our mess, if we're not aware of what we've suppressed within ourselves, when we see someone moving in a way that triggers us, in a way that causes us to, maybe forces us to look at things, it pushes something out of us that the innate response is to like, oh no, how do you stop this? You're doing too much, which I've heard that my whole life, that you're doing too much, you're too much. I've heard that. That's another conversation for another day. You're doing too much. This is not what you do. This is not how you do it. Which is interesting because oftentimes that comes from people who have not done the thing you're trying to do. It's rarely ever people who've done it, right? People who haven't done the thing you're trying to do. Or it's people who have done the thing you've already done and decided you no longer want to do. It's this, for lack of better term, it's this innate need to stop it because it forces a mirror in front of them. And I'm not here to say I know what people are looking at in their mirror, but whatever that mirror is, they don't want to see that. They especially don't want to see it in someone who's close to them. So the quickest response is to either explain it away, something's wrong with you, you're not okay, have you seen your doctor? Or let me, with my no medical degree, diagnose you. Let me let me put you back in that box, Oh, are you sure you're not confused? You're gonna get a lot of that from, again, people who aren't even aware how damaging their acts are. But like I also said, while it's been a week of self-doubt, it's been a very interesting week of confirmations and I'm saying this to encourage anyone who's on the road of trying to change almost every aspect of their lives. It is hard. You will not get support from where you expect to get support. It is fine, But follow your innate instinct, follow your gut. Your gut will never lead you wrong. But also pay attention to other places where you don't expect the support. People who genuinely will come forward to embrace you, to express how they relate to what you're going through, to give you encouragement, genuine encouragement, not the encouragement laced with curiosity and questioning, because those will happen too. You start to pay attention to things. Pay attention to those people. Even as random as yesterday, I went out for lunch with a friend, with an old acquaintance, I should say, and she's probably gonna become a friend over time. And on my way back, just minding my business, walking, I had parked my car in the garage and I'd walked to the restaurant, just briskly walking because I thought I was running late and I was really focused. I wasn't paying attention. On my way back, there's a homeless guy who sits there on his wheelchair. Every so often, if I remember, I'll interact with him. But going, I didn't. Coming back, he stopped me. And he was like, I saw you going and you look pissed. He was like, I saw you with the hair and I wanted to compliment you about how, good you look, but you looked angry. So I wasn't sure if coming back we could talk. And I was like, oh no, I wasn't pissed. I was just focused, right? Long story short, we got to chatting. And, I always tell people, with people who you see on the streets, sidebar for a second, it's important to know the only distinction between them and you is you just happen to have a roof over your head. Oftentimes, right? And if you live in the United States, where most people's roof over their head does not technically belong to them, let's be honest. Most people are under mortgage. Most people are renting because actually most people can't afford to buy. So all it really takes between you and that person is maybe one missed payment, one misstep financially. It should ground you in the reality of don't look down your nose to talk to that homeless person. Don't think you are beyond a conversation with the person at the corner of the street, because you're not that far if you exist like most of us in the real world. You're not that far. And honestly, at the day, we're all humans. So, I mean, how much does a conversation cost you? Have the conversation. You would be amazed how much you will learn. Long story short, I had a conversation with this guy, and it was quite an interesting and intriguing conversation. But it was interesting because he didn't know anything about what was happening in my life. He didn't know about transitions. He didn't know I was having a week of self doubt. He had no idea. He was just talking to me, and this man started preaching to me about believing in myself, about I mean, some other things were extreme, like demons being around me. I like to think it's just symbolism. Basically, there are people planting doubt in you. And he had no idea in his brief conversation how much he poured life into me. This is a man I know from nowhere. This is not someone I would look to support or affirm me, right? But just listening to his words really lifted me up. In addition to the discussion I'd had at lunch, that was just like double confirmation back to back of keep doing what you're doing. That's not going to be easy. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep trusting yourself. And you may or may not get support. It's fine. Just keep trusting yourself. And that was exactly what I needed to hear. So I said that to say, when you are in the midst of change, enemies of progress will be abound. they will be plentiful. Sometimes they don't even know themselves. Sometimes they will do some very drastic things that will cause you to take drastic actions, but it's fine. Those boundaries probably needed to be set before, and now they're glaringly obvious to you, so that's good. But also, while all that is happening, the beauty of life is there's always balance. If you pay attention, there are other places around you where you're being affirmed, where you're being told, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep listening to yourself, stay on course, don't get distracted, don't get disheartened, just keep going. So I guess that's the point of today's message, is I wanted to reach out to anyone who's having a similar week. That's like, damn, I mean, these homework assignments that I signed up for is a lot, Just know that feeling is not permanent. And while you may not be getting the uplift from what you expect, look at other places. Pay attention to that. And that may help. Anyway, like I said, today is a free flow. I don't have the accountant to me that had 3 examples for every topic was not here today. Today we're just talking, and that was it. So we'll see what the next one brings. I hope you're all having a good week and take care of yourselves. All right.